Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie, and today I'm going to be doing 3 more looks with the Kaleidos and Angelica Nyqvist Club Nebula palette. And of course, a huge congrats to Angie and Kaleidos on this collab. Definitely a great way to start off a new year, 2021. So I did do 2 looks as a first impressions previously in a live stream, so if you're interested in the other 2 looks that I created, then make sure you check it out. I will link it down in the description box in case you're interested. And so I knew I had to do at least 3 more looks, and I really wish I could do 10. I did receive this palette in PR from Kaleidos, so thank you so much, Kaleidos, for sending it over to me to play with it. And this is what the inside looks like. It's just got some very, very beautiful deep mattes in here, and as well as some stunning shimmers. If you've seen my other 2 looks, you know the shimmers just really pack a punch. So let me show you the PR box, which is super cute. I love how it's like big, but it's not too big. I feel like it's the perfect size. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. You can see this is the box that the palette comes in, which is also absolutely stunning. I love the little the like metallic sheen on it. It's super beautiful. And then it came with like an invitation card, which is just a really cute touch, and then a deck of cards which are themed to this collection, which is also a really unique touch. So I'll be doing 3 more looks, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end of the video. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then just keep watching. First up is Firefly versus Luxie Beauty Apollo, and these are not the same at all. Firefly has a shift in it and Apollo does not, so they're kind of similar but not at all. 7 of 9 versus Makeup Geek Code Blue. These are a little bit similar, but Code Blue is definitely brighter. I actually don't have anything similar to Gravity, so on to Queen of Blades, then Void next to Breaching from Menagerie Cosmetics. These are similar but not the same. I would say Void is a little bit more purpley, while Breaching is more navy. Next is Cylon versus Eternally Grateful from Makeup Geek, and these are pretty similar, but Makeup Geek is definitely darker. Red Giant versus Berry Shady from Makeup Geek. These are pretty much almost exactly the same. And then Rockhopper versus Zane from Davina, and Plum Wrong from Sydney Grace. So definitely closer to Zane, but I would say Zane is darker and maybe a little bit more plum. And that's really it for the center row. I couldn't really find anything similar to the other shades. So on to the bottom row, we have Celestial versus Reserve number 3 from Shine by SD. Similar, but absolutely not the same. Celestial has a shift in it. Next up is Nova versus Zero Gravity from Terra Moons, and then Cavity from Davina. And then I also thought of another shade that might be similar later on, but between these 3, I would say none of them are very similar at all. If anything, Cavity maybe somewhat. They do have a certain similar shift, but Nova is more blue. Then we have Samus versus Peach for the Stars from Makeup Geek, and Peach for the Stars is definitely darker. And then Nebula versus Plume from Menagerie Cosmetics. A little bit similar, but Plume is a little bit more redder and darker. And also the shift just isn't the same. And so lastly here, I swatched Nova next to Glimmer from Cleona, and I would say these are pretty much exact dupes to each other. I looked at different lighting, and these are spot on. So first I'm going to be doing this eye, and I'm priming with the Be Perfect eyeshadow primer. For this look, I'm going to do kind of like a, it's going to start looking like a graphic liner, but it's going to basically be some sort of like a crease thing. I'm starting out with Queen of Blades, and I'm first mapping out the wing that I'm trying to do with it. And I'm going to take Gravity on a teensy little brush. This is the Cosette S185. And I'm just going to start putting it kind of a little above where I put down that teal. And just blending it. And then down here as well. So I'm gonna lay that down. And then I'm going back in with Queen of Blades on Kaleidos S5 brush, and I'm gonna start blending that up, adding a little bit more as I go, and I'm going to be blending that into Gravity. So I'm already kind of creating this cut crease section without really needing to go and cut it, which I think kind of saves me a little bit of time. And now I'm gonna go back in with that little fluffy brush, and I have nothing on it. It's kind of going over the edge, and then I'm gonna take just a little bit of Gravity and put it right here, and then I'm just gonna pack a little bit more Queen of Blades, just kind of slowly taking my time. This is a kind of look you can't really rush. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start connecting my lower lash line with that. So it kind of goes down right in there, and then taking Gravity again, blending it on the edge of that. Super fun. Instead of doing another layer of like eyeshadow primer, I'm gonna just go straight in with the NYX glitter primer. I can probably cut this a little higher than that, and I'm just gonna lay it down all over my lid. So I'm kind of using that instead, and I think it will be better because then you're putting less layers of product on your lid. And I'm gonna put You're My Only Love right there, right against the line. I'm gonna take it kind of all the way down here, kind of building it up a little bit. And then on the lid, I'm putting down Astro. This is such a beautiful, beautiful shade. Getting a little bit of fallout, but nothing too crazy. And I'm gonna take 7 of 9 and put it under my lower lash line to kind of fill in the rest of that inner portion there. And I think I'm gonna actually take a little bit of Gravity and bring it down here. I feel like there's like an empty space there, but I don't really, I'll add in a little bit of Queen of Blade. Just a touch. So here is the first look. Priming again with the Be Perfect eyeshadow primer. For this next look, I really want to layer the shimmers on top of these mattes. So I'm going to start out with Cylon, and I'm kind of packing it on. And so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 different shades. So first, putting down Cylon, and I'm slowly blending it up so I don't bring it up too high since it is a deep shade, or too much into my eye there. And then I'm gonna put down Void right in the center. Look at that pigment, oh my gosh. I definitely prefer to just like dip in a little bit. And then on the outer corner is where I'm putting down Queen of Blades. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Queen of Blade. Like that's not a thing. And this, per usual, I'm gonna blend out into like a triangle shape on the outer corner. That's what I like doing for my eye shape. And adding a little bit more, sticking down here a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back in with Void. Just pack it on again. Next I'm taking a nice big fluffy brush that's clean, and I'm just gonna go over the edges, really make sure they're feathered out, I had almost like no fallout with that. Then I'm going back in with Queen of Blade and putting it under my lower lash line, connecting it to that wing. For some reason for this one, I'm kind of feeling like Samus. Just that peach is tempting me. So next I'm gonna put the NYX glitter primer all over my lid. I think I put a little too much. But it's okay. We're gonna kind of swipe it off, whatever I don't need. And just tapping it. And I'm gonna kind of tap it, especially on the outer edge, because I don't want any harsh lines when I start putting it on. And I'm gonna go in with Nova. I just want to put this all over the lid. I think I do. I was gonna do 3 different shades, but oh my god, the shift I see here, oh my god, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm kind of tapping that on. I'm gonna take a relatively clean brush and blend over those edges. I just want to make sure there's nothing harsh going on. I'll have to make sure to show you the shift because it is mesmerizing. And here's the second look. So I primed with the Be Perfect eye primer again for this third look. So for this final look, I'm gonna play with the peach, and I'm gonna put that right up here in the inner kind of half of my upper crease, just blending it up. And I don't want to take it too far down here because I'm going to be putting on the teal. Just back down a little bit more. Gonna kind of just feather it out that way, kind of flick it outward there. Maybe add a little bit more over here. And then on this outer corner, going in with Queen of Blades. And I want this to just be really blown out. I'm not going to blend it too much in with that peach. Gonna pack on a little bit more. I don't think I waited long enough and this base is still tacky. Slowly building out this outer wing. I want it to be blown out, but I want some control while doing it. Next, I'm gonna take some NYX glitter primer and I'm gonna just tap it on kind of in the upper section where I laid the peach down and just like a little bit into the teal, but not too much. And really tapping it on so I don't have any harsh edges. So I'm dipping into Nebula and I'm gonna be patting that all over where I laid down the glitter primer. I feel like there is something just about the look of peach with the teal. It's such a cool combination. Next, I'm gonna go back in with Queen of Blades and just use a little bit of a different brush and go over kind of where I put the shimmer down and just make sure it's nice and blend it in there. So I put on some lashes and I did my under eye concealer, and now I'm gonna finish off the lower lash line. So I'm dipping into Queen of Blades and connecting my lower lash line with it. For the inner corner highlight, I'm using Celestial and I did spray my brush. I'm gonna put Samus down here. And then I put on Peach Fuzz in my lower waterline. So this is the third and finished look. So if you couldn't tell from the 3 looks and then the other 2 previous looks that I did in my first impressions live stream, these eyeshadows just perform really beautifully, just like all the other Kaleidos eyeshadow palettes. I would say this is all pretty much on par. I was really curious going in to see what Kaleidos deep mattes are like because they don't have that many in their other palettes. So I was really interested to see how they do that kind of formulation, and they're really pigmented. The shimmers in this palette just completely blew me away. I've had experience with Kaleidos shimmers, but these are just something else. I really love the variety of them and just how special they are, like once you use them, and the fact that Angie purposely wanted them to be a little bit more translucent so that you could layer them over the other shades, like some of the deeper mattes. They just are something else the moment you put them over a deep matte. So it's like almost you're getting like double the shimmers, if that makes sense. And you could see from all the 5 looks that I created that I didn't have any patching issues, and these shadows really layer over each other really well, which I'm really happy for because I've definitely had layering issues with other formulas from other brands. For some reason, people tend to think that negative reviews are honest reviews, as if you can't give a honest positive review. And I mean, you could be able to see if the shadows weren't performing, just like in other videos where I've struggled with certain formulas that I just don't like from other brands. So a negative review is not always an honest review. It could also be biased. Everyone has a bias. I have a bias because I've been watching Angie for a long time, and I've tried a bunch of stuff from Kaleidos already. And so there will be one last restock of this palette on February 17th at 11 PST. So mark your calendars, set those alarms if you're interested in this palette, because I don't know if there's going to be any more restocks. I would definitely recommend this palette if you enjoy the color story. Otherwise, there's no sense in buying an eyeshadow palette. Obviously, if you don't like the color story, and you love the depth and the shimmers and the 2 multi-chromes, then this is really a great palette. I really am enjoying this, and I can't wait to play with it some more. So let me know in the comments below which look was your favorite, and if you picked this palette up or you plan on picking it up during the last restock. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribed. There's so much indie makeup content, sparkly, shiny, shifty eyeshadows, already on my channel. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.